Tunisian, two-time Olympian. Naoufel and then Rabeh. Ladies and gentlemen, bout number 3, 6 rounds of international junior welterweight boxing. Your commentators at ringside, IBF world champ Barry Michael, Australian welterweight champion Julian Holland, and Stephen Bachelor Boy Peak. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing. Your judges at ringside, John Wheeler, Anika Williams, and Malcolm Bullner. When the bell tells, your referee in centering, Mr. Jim James Slatter. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome on my left, occupying the red corner. In Australian amateur boxing history, post-war, this young man has one of the most decorated international boxing amateur achievements. In 180 amateur contests, he was 7 times Australian champion. 2 times he represented Australia at Commonwealth Games, winning bronze medals. He was an Atlanta and Sydney Olympian. From the Northern Territory, voted Northern Territory Citizen of the Year. Now based in Salisbury, South Australia, with the legendary Cole Betty, his mentor. He works out of the Aboriginal Sobriety Group in Wakefield Street, Adelaide. I was proud to meet this young man in centering in Adelaide 3 weeks ago tonight. Tonight he scales 61.15 kilograms, wearing blue trunks with white piping, and Australia on the side. Would you welcome to Melbourne for the first time in professional boxing, gentlemen, James Swan. James Swan. Well done, Damien. Across the ring, occupying the blue corner, with Greg Grogan assisting Murray Thomson, the second component of the All-African Tunisian Olympic Games fighters in amateur boxing. 35 bouts, 32 wins, 23 years of age, wearing black trunks with his name on the front. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome in a centre ring, in professional sense, at Fort Knox. They call him Awful Naoufel Ben Rabeh. He scaled 62.35 kilograms. 6 rounds of boxing. To give his instructions, James Slatter.
Okay. Third fight of the night, and the referee has some instructions here. James Slatter.
Good fight. This will be interesting.
Here we go.
It certainly will be. Another Tunisian there, Naoufel Ben Rabeh, fighting from the blue corner.
Naoufel will call him.
Naoufel.
Round 1.
Naoufel. And course, James Swan in the red corner, the Aboriginal boy in the blue Australian trunks, and Naoufel has got some repetition going already there, Barry.
Yes, I've heard some very big raps on this boy, Naoufel, the Tunisian. I've heard that he's a real Ali, he can do almost everything.
Well, he's certainly got a few nice moves there. He's smooth, very slick.
Yeah, he's very slick, yes.
Julian, I believe you've boxed quite a bit with him.
Yes, yeah, and that's what I found about. He's very, very slick, very fast, and he punches at a long range, you know, and punches hard, you know. So he's got everything basically. I think he's got a huge career.
Tough fight for James Swan.
Yeah, it is a tough fight.
Just whipped the right hand around the neck there,
but I do know Swanee, and he's got a big heart, and he's just like a little dynamo. He'll keep coming. Yep.
Yeah, he's a little dynamo.
Oh yeah.
He's doing all right.
There you go.
He's doing all right at the moment, getting inside that reach, you know, ripping and hooking it, whatever.
It doesn't look like he's going to take a backward stretch, James Swan. He's just going to barrel straight in, I'd say, with the way he started this fight, Barry.
Never been his style.
180 amateur. Oh, big left hook.
Beautiful punch to the side of Naufel's jawline there, but he would have felt, looking at Naoufel there, no reaction to it.
Nice right hand inside there by Naoufel.
Very nice punch. Very nimble sort of fellow, Naoufel. He looks like very athletic.
Got a beautiful boxer's physique, you know. It's
incredibly long arms he's got too.
Oh, unbelievable. That's where he punches from that long range, you know. It's hard. It makes James Swan have to work right in there.
Well, he tried a cracking punch there, the stomach region of Swan, and Swan now pursues him. But Naoufel, gee whiz, I wonder if he can keep dancing all night in that style.
Good jab to the body by James Swan. He needs to get right up there and work that body.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nice
good work
Swan there. Very good work.
Very strong, James Swan. Physically strong.
Yes. Swan barreling in again, and the boys tie each other up.
That's right. And don't forget, James Swan's gone.
Yeah, James Swan's had an incredible
He's had
experience.
a huge international experience, and you know, like fighting all those guys overseas, the top amateurs, you know, the Russians and Cubans and all that. So he's would have been in this before, you know.
That's right. He's been in with the best of them, James Swan.
Well tutored, very well tutored.
Well, just a huge amount of experience, Steve. You know, 180 fights.
Big right hand.
That was a big right hand, wasn't it? I mean, he's got a big reach, this guy. And he does put them together, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He certainly does. He's a lean, mean fighting machine, Naoufel.
I was talking to Naoufel a little bit, and basically he was saying in Tunisia that they have a big Russian influence over there. That's where a lot of their boxing techniques and skills are made, you know.
Okay, yep. Certainly an interesting opening round. This some good punches been landed by both boys.
Swan landed a very good left hand a few moments ago on Naoufel, which had reasonable effect. So very interesting first round, Barry and Julian.
Yes, definitely.
How did you see that round, Jules?
Well, I thought Swanee, James did a great job working up and all that, but you know, Naoufel was punching from a long range and scoring.
Probably
those
did
shots
the flashier punches, certainly from Naoufel, and some big bombs. But I tell you, you know, there really wasn't a lot in the round, I don't think, because I think James Swan worked pretty hard and did land some good shots of his own.
Yep. That's what he's got to do, though, is just keep working up and you know, chipping away.
Yep.
Break that, you know, the defence of Naoufel.
For sure.
Round two coming up. James Swan.
Big right.
And here comes Naoufel working overtime, gentlemen.
Big punches from Naoufel.
Came out aggressively. Rabeh. Did he come out aggressively then in the black trunks?
I think Murray's told him to come out and fire up.
Got a real touch of class about him.
Oh, yeah, and as Julian said before, that enormously long reach has got to cause James Swan some problems. Swan coming over the top of that right hand, just whispered through.
Left uppercut too from James.
Good work by James Swan, yeah.
Nice
cracking punch to the larynx.
Counter. Good counter, that was.
Big punch to the larynx region there, I'd say. And coming in low, Naoufel there. He's got him pinned in the right corner.
Good rip to the body there by James Swan. Tried to hook the head and then went underneath with the hook the head first, then the rip. That's a good combo.
Swan now being a little patient in round one.
Pressure on here.
Yeah.
Probably the longer it goes, the more it might suit him, eh?
That's right.
And Naoufel now showboating somewhat. They're sticking the jaw out, just waiting to see if Swan's going to
He's got a
come
great
in and
left
accept
hand,
that.
hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good left hand. Such a huge reach. But I tell you, James Swan's doing a good job with it.
Great
Good
job.
work.
Yeah.
And
James Swan's winning this round so far, I think.
Yep.
Good work.
Cracking punch to the earlobe a moment ago, which would have rocked Naoufel.
Flashy stuff from Naoufel. Flashy uppercut. Bowler uppercut to the body.
And Swan bouncing around.
Nice
Naoufel
little
standing
jab.
his
You've got to
ground.
score those sort of punches, you know.
Yep.
Jab to the chest.
That's right.
Swan now coming in low.
A bit low, that one.
And Naoufel smiles, shakes his head, and tells him where it landed.
Oh, they let them go now.
Yep.
Helping to referee the fight, Naoufel.
James is doing a tremendous job. Basically, you know, he's a much smaller guy here.
Yeah.
He usually makes, you know, junior lightweight and all that, and he's fighting a light welter here.
Yeah,
so,
he is,
you know,
He's doing a good job.
Tough job.
Great
He's
job.
doing a grand effort so far. Coming in with the headlock again, and Jimmy Slatter splits them.
They've let some big shots go, the boys, and you know, it's over six rounds. Isn't it,
Yep,
this fight?
yep,
So
yep.
You know, it's going to.
Good little work. James Swan is doing a lot of good work here. Little short jab, and that you've got to take notice of it.
That's right.
Little
Doing a
inside
great job
right
in
to the
that
body
point of
too.
view. He's a lot more patient this round than round one. Trying to pick his moments when to come in and to strike.
Naufel's, you know, looking for those big shots. Oh, that was
Great punch with that right hand and uppercut. I think it was Barry.
Oh, nice work back by James Swan with the uppercut.
Definitely. He's tough, James Swan. No
Oh,
one
tough
about
Is
that.
he ever?
Oh, yeah, good body work.
Cracking punches
Beautiful
to the
punch.
midsection, and
Oh,
then Naoufel comes back too,
no.
and he answers it beautifully, Naoufel.
James Swan not
What a
perturbed.
great
by it.
round, James Swan.
Good round.
Great round from...
I reckon James Swan just about pinched it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think you could
I
say
agree
that,
with you
yes, yeah.
on that
Just
score.
about pinched that round. That was good.
He's working up all the time.
Excellent rounds boxing from James Swan, who picked his moments. He was very patient, Barry.
Yeah, we're in James' corner now. Looking pretty cool there. I mean, he's had 180 amateur fights. He's one of our most experienced amateurs.
Yes.
He's an absolute gentleman out of the ring. I've had the
Definitely.
opportunity to meet James on quite a few occasions. He's a lovely bloke, and
Yes.
you know, it's a tough fight for him, but he's doing okay.
Well, one thing I liked about that round was that he showed intelligence by not just
Yep.
rushing in.
Yep.
He picked his times to come in to throw his bombs, didn't he? To throw his
did.
good punches.
He picked his punches
I was
well.
actually talking to him yesterday at the weigh-ins, and you know, he said he's really trained hard for this fight. So you know, like I think we can expect him to be there in the end. You know.
Yeah,
Yes,
oh,
well,
look,
yes,
I think
we'll be
no
there.
doubt. Well, I think Norman's already unloaded with his bigger bombs that he can
right,
throw,
yeah.
and James hasn't been perturbed by any of them.
Oh, this is a great fight, contrasting styles and sizes and shapes, and it's weighing up to be a fantastic fight. This, both the moment probably fairly square, the card, and both boys now weighing up the situation. Swan coming in hard. A lot of thinking going on between these boys now about what their tactics are going to be. Swan coming in low.
I reckon when Naoufel probably had a
jab.
look at James Swan at first, he probably thought, oh, I'm going to be in for an easy fight here because he's so much smaller and stuff. But man, he's a tough boy, James
Oh,
Swan.
yes, very tough. Tough, nuggety fellow.
Yeah. I
And
remember
that,
telling him years ago he'd be better as a pro, you know, because he's got that short reach and you know, gets going after 3 rounds sort of thing. You
Well,
know.
a pair on the shoulders, Barry,
Yeah,
and James
yeah.
Swan.
Oh, yeah.
And the uppercut there, he didn't like the grabbing.
Doesn't matter whether you shake your head, they both landed.
Or did they ever? Yes. He wasn't happy in close there when he thought Naoufel was going to grab, so he let him have a couple of uppercuts there. It was beautiful stuff, and Naoufel, big right hand from Naoufel bin Rabeh. Oh, rocked James Swan. Would have dropped the lesser man, that
Would have
punch.
dropped the lesser man, all right. Was flush
Oh,
on
that
the
was
chin.
flush.
Mate,
That
he's
Swan's got
got
a
a chin and
smile on
half.
his face, Barry.
Yeah, he's got a chin and a half.
Oh, has he ever? Rock granite, that chin is made of.
Oh yeah.
And he's still going well.
Oh, did he take that?
Particularly well this round so far. There's, you know, one big shot doesn't put Naoufel in front this round on my scorecard so far.
No. That, enormous strength there from Swan to take that and didn't even show any problems from it. Naoufel now flashing away at Swan and flips that left hand again across the top.
when you see a fight like this, you know, quite often the judges seem to favour the flashier fighter, but you've got to really look at the work rate and the scoring punches.
The scoring punches is the thing. That's the key.
Depends on the judges, isn't it, and what they're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah. And these boys are in close now. Swan's trying to work away in close, trying to get an uppercut working, but wasn't able to.
Needs to be.
Naoufel, big right hand again, comes in crunching, but I think it hit the gloves.
Yep.
And Swan now ducking and weaving over towards the neutral corner there, and then Naoufel again trying to pin him. But Swan's doing great work inside. Naoufel comes back hard in the midsection.
Good work from both boys.
Oh boy, it's on here.
Yeah, good fight.
And it's a great fight, this one. This is proving to be contrasting styles. It's great to watch. And Naoufel now skipping around the ring, and nearly got cornered by Swan. And the crowd getting agitated with Nauffel's, I think they think it's showboating, Barry, more than anything else.
Well, it is really. I mean, you know, the crowd are getting behind James Swan because he's the compact bull terrier. Oh, big
crashing right hand on the top of the scone of James Swan. And a flashing right hand, great third round.
How do you see that one? I reckon even or James Swan.
I think so too, Barry. Yes.
I think James Swan actually myself. I have just got only, I'd say.
Just about pinched that again, but again, that's a tough one for the judge to score
one.
because Naoufel is the flashier fighter.
That's right.
We're in James Swan's corner again here. Looks pretty good up there. He's taken some big shots, but he's taken them well.
He's got a great chin on him.
There's big right hand in that round, but you know, Naoufel was a bit flashy, but didn't do a great deal more. I thought Swan did the harder work.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It really depends what the judges are looking for tonight. If they're looking for the guy that's going to be boxing or the guy that's going to be working.
Yeah, that's right. And I love the way James Swan has been patient when he's not rushing in. He's waiting for his moment.
No, he's fighting a very smart fight.
Very smart. Extremely smart fight. And Nauffel's got his work cut out here, no doubt about that.
It's only going to pick up.
My mate over there, Damien Memory, rings the bell to the start of round 4. He loves to get a mention, Damien. He's one of my old sparring partners and the star out of Rose Against the Odds. He played Alan Rudkin in that movie. Did an excellent job. Yeah, he did a great job. He's put on a bit of beef since then, Dame, but he's a great mate of mine.
Doing a great job with the National Boxing Federation, Barry.
He sure does.
Damien Memory, a magnificent effort. Puts in a lot of hours.
Yep.
Both boys again at the start of the 4th round sizing up the situation, and great to see the boys concentrating so severely.
Yeah, well, I think
there's a bit at stake for this fight. You know, Nauffel's first fight here, he's got to really create an impression, and James has had a couple of close fights with the other African guys that are staying in Adelaide, and you know, he needs a win big time as well.
He's really had no easy start, has he, James? You know, to his pro career. I mean,
no, he hasn't.
God, you could certainly give him some easier fights than this. This is a tough night's work, but he's doing a great job.
Is he ever? And
but that's him. That's the way he is. He's never taking any shortcuts.
And that's a gutsy effort from someone like that first up, because could easily step away and say, well, not him first up, but he's taken him on.
That's right.
A lot of courage for making that decision to start with. Naufel bouncing around, Swan being very wary. I think Naufel needs to probably get a bit of a hurry on here now.
I think you're right. I think James Swan.
He's scoring the counter punches though.
Need to just increase the work rate a bit because flashiness isn't going to, at the end of the day, may not do it for him, and Swan's doing the hard work.
That right hand's coming.
Awful there, trying to pin. Swan comes in low and then swings the left, and the boys are foxing with each other now. And good to see a little bit of humour brought into the proceedings.
Yeah, very cool in there, James Swan.
Oh, is he ever? And the boys now, they know their opposing styles.
Good.
Oh, comes in hard there.
Oh, beautiful. Good work by James Swan.
Great work. And Naufel tried to reply, but his punches landed on the gloves.
Yeah,
so Swan won that interchange of
definitely.
Boxing manoeuvres, and now Naufel tries to pin him in the neutral corner again, and flashed across a punch across the nose of Swan.
Tell you what, he's holding his own and more, James.
More is he ever, and got a cracking
I think he got
punch.
the better of that exchange.
All those
yes.
Well, that's a big shot, man.
Big chop at the back of the head, not a real scorer.
They've been hard. Some glove got that too, Barry, I think.
They bust your eardrums, those ones.
Oh, gee. But I think a bit of glove also caught that one before that came in on the Swan's earlobe.
Oh, that was a nice left hand.
Beautiful left hand. And Swan comes in hard too over the top of the right hand.
Left hook the head, drives the left rip into the body straight after it.
Beautiful stuff. And what a great round boxing.
Another great
Gee whiz.
It's a great fight.
Oh, boy.
Well, you know, the way I see it, James Swan's winning quite handily. But, you know, judges could be seeing this fight exactly the opposite.
That's right, yes, Barry.
It's one of those fights. It's like when I lost my Commonwealth title to Claude Noel on a 15-round split decision. One judge knew that I was the winner, and the other two saw it the other way.
Yeah, there's plenty of that, isn't there?
There is. But he was one of those real flashy fighters, and I did a lot of work, you know, that worked harder than him, but he did all those flashy bowler touches, very similar to what Naoufel was doing, you know.
You know, as it always goes to hometown advantages as well. You know, you go
Well,
somewhere.
I was in my hometown.
Oh.
Julian, you wouldn't want to listen to Barry Grizzly after what's happened to you. You should be undefeated, from what I hear.
Well, that's right too. Yeah. But you got to take it as it comes. You know.
Exactly.
Pop it on the chin and go on.
Yeah. Literally.
That's right.
Well, round 5 coming up.
Round 5.
What an interesting fight this is.
Terrific
from two
fight, this.
contrasting styles of boxers in Naoufel Ben Rabeh in the Murray Thomson camp and young James Swan in the blue trunks, white piping, doing a fantastic job here tonight.
Fighting a very, very intelligent fight.
A
James.
very intelligent fight.
He's got club with a big right hand right off the top of the left eye there, James Swan.
You come back though.
Yep.
Very nuggety, disciplined individual, James Swan, and doing a great job here at Fighters Factory, Knoxfield.
Oh,
And comes
that's
in
good
hard.
work.
Beautiful,
Beautiful
rip to the
punching.
body, Barry, earlier on by Swan.
Lovely combination body punches and finished with the uppercut in close. Nice finish.
One thing about James Swan, he loves to fight.
Yep.
Oh, you can tell that, Julian. That's certainly the case with this man. Oh, swung high with the left hand, and Naoufel couldn't top him off coming through. The neutral corner,
tell you.
Naoufel throwing punches, but the gloves caught most of those, I think.
I reckon Swanee's by far the more popular with the crowd here.
Oh, he is, because the crowd love someone who takes the fight right up to more of a flashy fighter, Barry.
He
Don't
really
they?
looks the underdog, doesn't he? I mean,
Yes.
you look at the contrasting styles at the start and you think, well, this boy's
Well,
in
you look
trouble.
at the
But
physiques.
the physiques too, and
Yes.
James Swan's doing a fabulous job here.
And cut off the corners there beautifully. Cut Naoufel off, put him in the red corner, and then on the
yes.
ropes flashing away. Beautiful boxing from James Swan.
Excellent.
And great manoeuvring there by Swan to cut Naoufel off when he tried to tear around the ring. Cut him off completely there. Cut the angle off. And the ball clashing hard there, the boys. And Naoufel comes back, gives him a right hand, another punch to the rib cage. Got him in the blue
Big
corner.
shots there.
Swan's
Big
smiling.
punches.
He's got to get out of there, though.
I'm going to get caught with those shots.
No, Swanee blocking him with the glove, but they still
That's
take a
right,
lot
yeah.
out of you.
Oh, they do.
Big punches. Now he's got to work in there, James Swan.
Definitely
I
has
think
some
he's winning this
power.
round
Naoufel.
too. I think he's at this stage.
Swan working hard,
Good
consistently
work, good body
hard.
work, yeah.
And coming in again there hard. Naoufel at the moment seems to be fighting in bursts, Barry.
he does.
Tony Weeby style.
Yep.
Well, one thing the Americans say about the Cubans as well is that, you know, they're great over those short rounds and all that, but you get them over a few
distance.
more rounds, they just can't go the distance, you know.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
Stamina
like-
problem.
Yeah.
Well, they're
It's the way they trained all their life, I suppose.
certainly great amateurs. I
Yeah.
mean, some
Oh,
great
yeah.
throws amongst them too, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, oh, right hand grazed Swan.
But a very, very intelligent fight here being fought by the smaller man.
Oh,
Big
look at
shot
that.
there from Naoufel.
Yeah, Naufel's now...
Can't block well though.
He's
Block
letting
well.
them go, Naoufel.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
starting to increase that punching power work rate, that's for sure. When he throws them now, they're loaded up.
Mate, I
They're starting
reckon
to load right up.
to hurt James Swan, you'd have to
Great
give Naoufel
jab.
a bit of 4x2 or something as well, I reckon.
Laws
That's
rocket,
funny.
Barry.
That's it.
Oh, Swan tried to decapitate Naoufel.
Saw that coming from over this side of the ring, that one.
And if it had a landed, Barry, it would have
Good
been
right hand, too,
all
from
over. As Swan comes in hard now, trying to pin Naoufel to the ropes, but doesn't...
He's finishing off the combinations well, isn't he?
yeah,
Goes-
Yeah,
great job.
I-
That was a great round. That's
Yeah.
pretty even, I thought.
Mate, I've got
But,
Swanee well in front, I reckon.
Yeah, I thought that was quite an even round as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, fairly even. There's not much in him, but the way I see it, and I could be wrong, I just reckon
Yeah.
Swanee's just doing that a little bit better.
yeah.
And Naufel's still looking good.
And more of the leg work,
Looking
you
very
could say.
dangerous.
Very
Continue to
dangerous
look
all the
dangerous.
time. He's a big puncher.
Done a lot more of the leg work, Swan. So he's looking pretty good over here at the moment in his corner.
Yep.
Quite relaxed. Pretty confident, I'd say, at this
Yeah,
point in
so would
time.
I. No blood in his...
No, or his facial regions or anything, no nasal congestion.
No nasal congestion, no. Agree with you.
We can't see what's happening over in the Norfolk corner at the moment, Barry.
No,
But, can give you a medical opinion over here, though.
He's a bit congested, I think.
Psychological problems, Barry.
Psychological
Last
congestion.
round of a good fight.
No, this is a great fight. Really
Oh,
top
fantastic
fight.
stuff, and Norfolk there, starting with the jabs now, and the left jab poking that out nicely, and Swan though.
I think that both boys have been told to come out and finish very hard here.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
So I think we're going to see a ripper round.
Well, it will be. It'll be something to behold. Now some blood on Swan's back. I'm not too sure where it's from.
Oh, nice uppercut.
I think Norfolk's bleeding from the nose, I think. I'm not 100% sure, though. He's rubbed it a couple of times.
Yeah, he is, yes. So, yeah, he's from his nose.
So,
uncharted territory for both of these guys.
That's
Each
right.
are fighting three-rounders.
and that Swan pushes him back.
Great jab there to the body.
And he was just a bit too far back then to throw that right hand. Swan was in the best position.
Those jabs
Yeah.
all being very ineffective from Norfolk there.
Yeah, very ineffective, and that nice body shot from Swan had him ricocheting backwards a little. Awful now, sizing up the situation. Swan looks very compact.
Break!
And at the moment, things
Oh,
are
Good work.
Swan smiling again at Norfolk.
He's looking pretty confident to me.
Very
Swan.
confident at the moment, Swan. Norfolk
He's
needs
finishing
to
off strong.
increase the work rate here this final round. It's
That's
very
right.
important for
Even-
both boys, but he more
Shopping
than
line.
anything
Yeah, got
needs to increase his work rate. He's got
That's
to
what he's gotta do.
pressurise, and it's not quite happening. Uppercut came through. Swan's now starting to throw some
There
leather,
we go now, the boys.
and you can just feel this is going to open up now. As Norfolk bounces around again, he's not bouncing on his feet as much as he was earlier on. Or a low punch from slightly low from Norfolk.
Swanee just walking through him.
That's right.
And that
Walking up there looking for his openings.
Well, he knows he's been hit with Norfolk's best shot, so
Yeah, yeah.
you know
he can
he's
take
ready
it,
to go.
and so there's no need for him to worry about anything now. So he comes
Good
in
body
underneath.
shots,
More
good
body
body
shots from Swan.
Excellent body punching right the way through the fight. He's fought a very intelligent fight, James Swan, and on my scorecard, he's going to win it.
Yes. Yep. Oh, the left hand, but
great-
Swan rode
great
those.
evasion.
Very good
Rode
evasive
them
tactic.
beautifully, Barry and
Yeah,
Julian.
very good. A nice countering jab.
Over the top from Swan. Just missed, but rode those other punches magnificently. Norfolk got one through there, and now working away at the body, but he looks a bit tired, Norfolk, to me.
Norfolk looks like he's starting to run out of ideas.
Oh,
to me.
and petrol tickets, Barry.
Yep. Yep.
At the moment, he seems to be not the man he was earlier on in the fight. And now turning side on, nearly backed off then. And Swan looking very confident at this
I'll tell you,
point of the fight.
It's going to be really interesting as Swanee goes up in the ranks and gets 10 rounders. I reckon it's going to suit him, you know.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
no.
great fight.
Great fight. Great fight.
Great effort.
But, you know, I think, Barry, it's the biggest thing with
Last
James
round.
Swan is, you know, when he gets down to junior lightweight and that, he's going to worry anyone in Australia, basically.
For sure. For sure.
I thought it was a great fight.
A great effort from James Swan first up, and I've got to wait for the judge's decision, but he fought a
think-
magnificent,
Yeah.
intelligent fight.
I think Naoufel, you know, he also looked good on the night.
He
you
did,
know,
definitely. I mean,
He's got
you know,
class,
so-
there's no doubt about that.
very talented fighter in the mould of a Jose Legra sort of style.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Does some incredible
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And very flexible, very athletic, and he will improve from that run, no
To be
doubt.
honest with you, someone like James Swan is, you know, probably a very difficult, well, definitely a very difficult opponent for him to fight in his first
That's
fight.
right,
You know,
he's
like not an
punching
easy
down, yeah.
target. He's even though the average person thinks just because you've got a reach advantage, you're going to win. But if you're a fighter like Swanee who's got all that experience, doesn't matter how tall his opponent is, you can turn the reach advantage into a disadvantage. You know,
That's right. That's right.
which he did perfectly well.
He showed fantastic intelligence. That's
Yep.
the thing I loved about the way he fought here tonight, as well as his courage thrown in. And I think you're right. I think in the those lightweight ranks or whatever, he could be devastating up around the 8 to 10 round mark there, Barry. 10
look,
rounds.
junior lightweight, he's, you know,
Junior lightweight, and it's great to see someone new coming along in those rankings
Yep.
too.
So it's going to be interesting with this result.
Yeah. Boys now shaking hands. And let's wait on Howard Lee for the official decision.
going to be interesting, this decision.
Oh, yeah.
can't do that.
Can't do that.
John Sellers, can you come please, John? John Sellers. Table 2. 28, 27, 24. Table 2. Can you come please, John? That's 1, 2. John Sellers, come up, John. Here to present the medallion. It says, winner. John, you're going to come through, he's not. Okay, thanks. Right.
Well, we've got...
Ladies and gentlemen, our three judges were all in agreement. Judge Malcolm Golden has had 56-58. John Wheeler, 55-59. It's majority, thank you, Mark. Judge Anika Williams, it is a majority decision, not unanimous. Judge Anika Williams, 57-57. Your winner by majority comes from the blue corner. Naoufel Ben Reba.
Well, that's one I don't agree with, ladies and gentlemen. I thought James Swan deserved that decision.